mind just starting it right now.
I'm gonna keep Travis's old man cough.
No.
You sound like my grandfather trying to cough up like Nazi gold.
That's because I am trying to cough up. I am trying to cough up Nazi gold. That's what's happening. That's where it's hidden.
That's better than what my cough sounded like earlier in the week. It just sounded like somebody was shaking a bag of nickels.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
Rattle.
Yeah. I've got that weird congestion thing where it's like, it starts up in my sinuses and then it drains into my lungs. So now I'm like...
Yeah, y'all, the listeners aren't going to know this, but we've taken a 2-week break because we've been hella sick.
Yeah.
We've just...
Like, Ari and I were both really sick, and then Ben got really sick.
Yeah, like, we just have been like, what if we didn't try to, like, force us to record when we both just want to sleep because we're so tired and we have fevers and... Yeah, it started with our friend Will.
Yeah, Will got us sick.
Who you guys heard in the...
one of the kidnap sketches.
One of the kidnap sketches. He plays like the crazy
with the
redneck.
button, yeah.
And fuck Will. Hey, Will, if you're listening to this, and I know you will be, fuck you.
You bastard.
You can't just say that because he's moved away now.
He has moved away, and I miss him, and I hope that he dies in a fiery pit. How about that?
I don't know where he's going.
Yeah, I mean, it might as well be a fiery pit where he is.
I love how we like pretend Huntsville is so much better because it is.
It is.
Because it is.
Well, the secret's out now. No, they know where we live. Fuck it.
Yeah, we've talked about being in Huntsville all the time.
Yeah, we do every day.
Like we make like almost exclusively local Huntsville jokes.
This is true. Very true.
Hey guys, you ever been at Low Mill?
I just popped up to Bandito Burrito.
How about that Ditto landing?
Yeah.
Let's go to Early Works.
Oh God.
How about them rockets and the Havoc?
They have rockets other places and Havoc.
Yeah, they have rockets like 2 other places.
They don't have the Huntsville Havoc though.
That's true. They don't have Huntsville Havoc. That is exclusive to Huntsville.
Yeah. What were we talking about before we started recording?
So who fucking knows?
Horror anime and porn.
We were not talking about porn.
We were talking about anime because we're going to turn Hey Assbutt into an anime podcast. We've heard your complaints,
and
whoever you are.
We said, fuck you.
Yeah.
We're going to ignore them. Oh, God. This entire podcast is going to be like, hold on.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
We're talking about horror movies.
Because
there are a lot of great ones coming out, actually.
There's a lot of really good ones that are out.
Yeah.
Some are on Netflix. A lot are just terrible and on Netflix, and those are the ones I've seen recently.
And you know what? Still enjoyable.
Veronica, that is on Netflix.
I haven't heard of it, but tell me about it instead.
It was advertised to me on Facebook, and several people told me that it was the scariest movie on Netflix.
Really?
It's just a really good possession movie. It's not super scary. It's just a really good possession movie set in Brazil in 1991. During the eclipse there. It's pretty fucking cool. This girl gets kind of possessed by a ghost because of a Ouija board.
Ooh.
So, not the most original story, but it is pretty cool because she goes to a Catholic school. And she's like 15 or so.
Oh.
But I watched that one. That one I would advise watching if you like possession movies. It's good.
I don't...
So it's got kind of an Exorcist vibe to it.
There's another one I watched that was...
You got Catholics, you got possession. What more do you want?
There's The Exorcist of Molly Hartley. That one's a lot more like The Exorcist.
Right, yeah.
You got exorcism, you got Catholics. What more do you want?
That one's a lot more like The Exorcist. But Veronica is a lot... It's very much more original.
Oh.
Because the exorcism of Molly Hartley is very much just, what if, and they had to do an exorcism at an insane asylum that is run by the Catholic Church, but we don't have the priest that has to perform the exorcist is kind of, he's no longer a priest because the last exorcism he did, the mother and priest that was helping him died because they jumped out a window.
Okay. I have read a fanfic exactly like this.
I believe it.
Hey, Ben, move the microphone a little closer to you.
I have read this exact, Bat Family AU.
Yeah, because it's not an original story.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it can't be enjoyable.
I'm
not.
That's considered Molly Hartley. 2 out of 5.
All right.
Not a good movie.
Yeah.
Damn.
If you want to rag on a movie,
Yeah.
totally watch it.
Okay, I love ragging on movies. I will say this: when I said just because something's not original doesn't mean it can't be enjoyable, I meant that in more of a general sense.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Molly Hartley, but there are some times where I'm like, ugh, this plot, I know it exactly, and I'm still entertained by it because I just enjoy that type of story.
I know, like the movie,
mean?
the movie Tokyo Godfathers is just Ice Age, but in Japan and an anime.
Okay, fuck you. Stop. Take a moment. Think about what you've done.
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
Ice is back.
With a brand new position.
What? Oh.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
But Ice Age is not Tokyo. Okay, hold on.
Do you think when Vanilla Ice gets old, he's gonna be stop, collaborate, and listen? Ice is back with a brand
Just
new
think, there's
Do you think when Vanilla Ice gets old, he's gonna go my melted ice?
No, crushed ice.
Crushed ice.
Like his dreams.
Who's Sid in Tokyo Godfathers?
which one is Sid?
Sid's the
sloth.
The sloth.
The white-eyed sloth.
Sid the sloth.
Also,
I've seen Ice Age more than once.
Hang on. Okay, so there's the older guy, which is the woolly mammoth.
Yes.
I guess the girl, the young kid would be.
See, you're
Sid.
totally wrong. The young girl is.
Is the saber-toothed tiger. And Sid
is the trans
woman. Yeah. Okay, you're right.
And let me tell you this.
And the baby is the baby.
The baby is the baby.
Although nobody gets
Godfathers
stabbed.
Is so much better.
I have no idea.
It really is.
It's so good. Okay, we're not going to turn this into an anime podcast right now,
we are.
So we're going to shut up about it. Horror movies. Movies.
Did we get us back on track with the ones I've seen?
Whoop.
Yeah.
I'm swinging it around.
So you ever seen the original Cabin Fever?
Yes.
That one's really fucking good, right?
Yeah.
Eli Roth made a remake of the original.
No.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty much a whole bunch of death sequences.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, that's what the first one was, but at least it kind of had a pretty cool story that kind of, wrapped it together. Yeah, not so much in this.
Yeah, Eli Roth was like, hey, what is some cool ways we can kill people on screen?
Pretty much.
Isn't Eli Roth the guy who's in Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah, he plays the Bear Jew.
Yes. Okay. Here's my problem with Eli Roth. Everything I've ever seen from him is just torture porn.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to see torture porn, I would I would watch torture porn. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You would watch Hostel too.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Or actual porn with torture. I'm not interested in that, so I'm not going to go see it. You know what I mean?
He has a really good aesthetic, and the special effects in his movies are always really good and look really cool.
Sure.
The problem is there's usually not a whole lot of story, which is what I want in a horror movie.
Right.
Such as Cabin Fever.
Well, and we've talked about this before, but when I want to see people struggle and suffer and go through a bunch of bullshit, but ultimately I do want them to find their version of the happiest ending they can.
That never goddamn happens in any Roth movie.
Which doesn't necessarily mean living, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or that everybody's going to be okay. But I want there to be some sort of self-actualization, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Lessons are learned, and they're ultimately a better person if they are alive.
Right. That's why I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah. Okay?
Because these kids go through hell, but at the end of it, for the main character, Bill, the one whose brother dies, Georgie's the brother, and he dies in the beginning of the movie / book.
Mm-hmm. Spoilers for a 20-year-old thing.
Yeah, also go see it. I don't know.
It's on something. Go watch it.
Yeah, go check it out. But at the end, even though he's been through hell and he's almost lost all of his friends and he has lost his brother, at least at the end of the first movie, he gets catharsis.
Yeah.
He finds peace. He finds confirmation that Georgie has died and has gotten revenge, bunny quotes, because it comes back. But he gets revenge on the guy who killed him. What more can you want,
I will say, it is a really good, loss of innocence story.
It's a coming of age.
Coming of age, loss of innocence.
Yeah.
Ipso facto, potato, tomato.
Sure.
But
the buildings Roman.
yeah, jet fuel melt still the beams. But I may still have a fever. But but no, that's what I loved about it. It was fucking scary.
Yeah.
There were really good parts, but ultimately it had a great plot, and I loved it.
Yes. Yes.
It had death sequences, which you need in a good horror movie.
and even like
And it has a good solid villain and a good solid monster.
with a good solid motivation.
Exactly.
Why do I scare the shit out of kids? Because kids who are afraid taste better.
Yeah. A movie that does that poorly and was a massive letdown was Jeepers Creepers 3.
Yeah.
Which
Jeepers,
takes place...
Creepers, where'd you get them peepers? Okay.
Alright, so you know how... You've seen the first two, correct?
No, I've seen the first one.
Alright, so the very first one.
Yes.
Alright. Jeepers Creepers 3 takes place immediately after the first movie.
Okay.
Oh.
But before the second movie.
Okay.
Which kind of is a spoiler and kind of isn't a spoiler. It's supposed to be kind of like a cool twist because you're not supposed to know when the movie takes place.
I see.
Right.
But it's just garbage. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Don't
Well,
watch the movie.
Because the lore of the Jeepers Creepers thing is that it comes alive like what, every 27 years?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, why did it come alive again?
Because it has to come alive so it can like continue to live. It has to replace all of its body parts that may have deteriorated while it was asleep.
Right.
Like it has a pretty cool like the lore in the first two movies is actually pretty fucking rad because it has to build up like a storage, like you know how like squirrels build up nuts for winter.
Mm-hmm.
This monster has to build up a storage of people for the long winter of 30 years.
So I guess
yeah.
I guess that's what makes it bad is that
Stuffing
if it's
people
in
the
between
cheeks.
if it's in between the first and second movies, that means it like breaks that.
Yeah, that they don't have to go like they could have gone 30 years in the past and that would have been fine, or they could
Yeah.
have gone 30 years in the future and that would have been fine.
Mhm.
And I think that would have been interesting, but because of where the second movie ends off, it's like the second movie ends off with the monster nailed to the wall of like a barn.
Right. Yeah.
So they couldn't really do anything with that. I mean, other than it just breaking free because it's an immortal beast.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole crux of the movie was that it was trying to destroy everything that because people were supposed to show or not supposed to know what it is, because if they know what it is, like supernatural, they can figure out how to kill it.
Right.
And
Once
so
we figure out the rules.
you can destroy it.
Right.
There is one scene that is kind of cool where they write because it buried a hand in somebody's backyard, and if you use that, you could kind of this weird thing would happen where you would float up into the sky, and then you would see what it is, and then you would fall to the ground and somehow not die. But they make this sign where it says, "We know what you are," and it just like pounds the ground out of anger. And then you never get to know what the fuck it is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm not giving you the description because I enjoyed this movie. I'm giving you the description because this movie is goddamn trash and you shouldn't watch it.
Fair enough. Ben, I have a question, and I have a question for you too, Travis.
What's that?
And if you can't think of one that's in a horror movie, you can use another movie, because I know you don't watch a lot of horror movies, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben, what's your favorite like horror movie lore?
You have to give me a second.
Take your time. I've already got one. Mine is probably Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's a solid movie.
That
Yeah.
it's such a great movie, and
Yeah.
then what's happening is happening, which spoilers, but this whole conversation is going to be spoilery, so just get the fuck over it. Spoilers. It's a secret facility that traps teenagers and forces them to act out a stereotypical teenagers trapped in the woods horror movie.
Yeah.
So that they can keep an ancient eldritch being from rising and destroying the entire world. So good. Like,
It's a solid.
yeah.
Solid
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting, like, because it's got that whole, like, Scream thing where everybody's aware of what's going on, but they're not able to stop it.
Yeah.
I just love it.
That
So
is
I've got a
really
little
good.
kitty headrest right now, and it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's rad.
Becky's sitting on the
It's
back of
very
my
cute.
chair. She's very soft.
My favorite, probably gonna have to go with the Evil Dead series.
Yeah.
Like the
That's
OG,
also a good one.
Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
That it's pretty much just the main character's fault is what's going on, and he understands that.
Yeah.
And so he has to destroy an evil that he brought into the world.
Ash is such a great, like, his character progression is so good.
Yeah.
And throughout the 3 movies, Evil Dead 2 might be one of my favorite movies of all time.
Evil Dead 2 is probably the best out of the 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, Army of Darkness is bad, but in a way that's, like, great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good campy B movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it does, like, I believe it's still Sam Raimi that did it. Because he did the first 2.
You're right. No, I knew that.
Because Sam Raimi is a son of a bitch. Because
Sam Raimi does 2 movies pretty good, drops the ball on the 3rd one.
yeah, pretty much. It's because he got too much money, I think. Because
it is directed by Sam Raimi.
The thing was with those movies, the first 2 specifically, he actively hurt Bruce Campbell to make those movies.
Oh, really?
Like he
He actually cut off Bruce Campbell's hand? That's amazing.
He replaced it.
Not like that actively hurt, but a lot of the blood from those movies is Bruce Campbell's real blood.
Oh, God.
That's the thing about doing, like, low budget horror movies, which of course for a long time / still today all of them are low budget, is that you might really get injured. Like
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not a fun set to work on.
I bet.
Because
But that's the thing, like, you can tell a movie that was hard to make, and those are usually really good.
yeah.
It's the ones where they had like a good time and everybody seems to be cutting up a little bit. That's when it seems a bit like hammy, and they're not as good, I think.
I want you to suffer for your art. It doesn't count if you don't actually die during a horror movie.
So says the
There is-
man in plaid and glasses.
There is that line between, like,
horrormovie.com.
how
You don't know how much I want to do that.
how
I write ghostwrite.com, the blog.
how low budget does a horror movie get before it just becomes a snuff film?
Oh, we had to literally kill our actors. Sorry.
Blair Witch Project, saw one.
Yeah.
Isn't there, what's the horror movie where, like, everybody almost died and then afterwards somebody did die? Was that Poltergeist?
I think so.
Like the Poltergeist, curse or whatever? Yeah, so what we're saying is if you're going to make a horror movie, at least have the decency to actually kill your actors. Thank you.
There was an Italian horror movie that did something like that where they made the violence so realistic that after the movie was filmed up until it came out, all of the actors in that movie were like under contract to just have complete radio silence and just disappear from media entirely to make people think that they actually died in the movie because it was so like realistically violent. And there was this whole publicity stunt where they somebody like sued the director of the movie. Like it was a fake trial and all that.
Dude, do you remember when the Blair Witch Project came out?
Yes.
And everybody was like, that actually happened? Those kids fucking died?
Yeah.
Like, that's part of the reason why that movie was so successful, because everybody thought it was real.
Right.
Which is, like, really shitty for those actors, because then they show up and they're like, hey, I'm not dead. Please stop having a memorial for me.
Yeah.
Honey, why don't you ever call? Because last time I did, you went, a ghost, and you hung up the phone. What horror movie was that? The Italian one.
I can't remember.
All right. To the Googles.
Yeah, you can just look up like Italian movie with realistic violence.
Yeah, we'll probably
and you will come across so many mafia movies, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. I love two things in this world: horror movies
And mafia movies.
and mafia movies.
And your dogs. That's three
And
things.
That's 6 things.
Aw. You keep counting each of your dogs separately.
Yeah, I love my dogs very much.
I guess I love 3 things in this world, too.
Dude, Sophie and a few other things are what got me through this week. She's been super goddamn snuggly.
Aww. My cat's been snuggly, too.
Nice.
Got Ducky for a headrest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, horror movies.
What is a horror movie you wish you could unwatch and never watch again?
The Human Centipede.
That's what I figured you were going to say.
I could live a very long and happy life and never see the Human Centipede again.
That one is garbage.
It's so bad.
I have not seen it. I have made it a point to not watch those movies.
I don't know. I think you should.
Okay.
I'm not gonna watch them.
Here's the thing. If you make a movie, this is a huge pet peeve of mine. And Funny Games, the OG Funny Games director did this too. And you know what? Fuck that guy. If you make a movie that's like every schlocky, violent, over the top, like just horror, like, you know, revenge or like torture porn, gore, like thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, but I made this movie to showcase how violent horror movies / torture porn / gore movies are. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no. If you're going to protest against those type of movies, make a good horror movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't rely on like over the top sexual like gore and violence, you know, like
That's why Cabin in the Woods was such a good movie.
exactly. Like they made a good horror movie that didn't rely on like
Those shitty tropes.
yeah, and I do like some schlocky violence. I mean, I am an
Yeah.
Evil Dead fan.
Yeah.
You know, like I like fake blood and I like when the actors almost die and all that jazz. You know, it's all fun and games. They're funny games. But
Hey.
the point is that like I don't expect fucking George Romero to be like, "Oh, yeah, also you fuck zombies." Like after he makes the movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that.
Own what you want to be.
Exactly.
Don't try to backpedal because you're a bitch.
And the Human Centipede director was like, "Yeah, this is why." And I was like, "Stop.
Yeah.
Don't." It'd be like the director of a Serbian film being like, "Well, I made this movie to combat child pornography." Well, then why did you do the thing that you did?
Yeah.
Like, stop. Anyways, I'm going to step off my soapbox.
No,
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It's fine. We need better horror movies.
Yes.
And this is the hill I die on.
The hills that you have eyes that you have. I've done that joke
Goddamn.
before, but it's still so good.
I love the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. It's
Oh, really?
so goddamn good.
I haven't seen the remake.
When did it come out?
Like, I was in elementary school or middle school when it came
Oh,
out.
that's probably why I haven't seen it.
Oh.
It's fucking good.
Because if you were in elementary or middle school, I was in middle school / also elementary school, and I was not watching horror movies at the time.
Dude, I've been watching horror movies. Like, I remember it's like it was before we moved to the house that we live in now. So I would have had to been in elementary school. I remember hiding behind this old chair that we used to have, watching the It miniseries.
I saw the It
And I wasn't
miniseries.
supposed to be watching it.
Yeah, I think the scariest I got was probably the It miniseries when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
Outside of the It miniseries, the scariest I got was like Labyrinth,
Oh.
which is not a scary movie.
Yeah.
But to a child, it kind of.
Yeah, I've never been one to watch like scary movies. In fact, there was a Courage the Cowardly Dog episode,
Yeah.
Lady of the Black Lagoon,
Yes.
where she kidnaps Eustace and Courage goes down there, and there's this sequence of the lady who is like this sultry, sexy seductress, like succubus kind of thing, and she goes in this transformation sequence to eat Eustace, and that transformation scared me so much that I didn't.
You've talked about this before.
Yeah, I
you
didn't.
Changed the channel,
I changed the channel, and
then
I
you
didn't
turned
turn
on
it.
the TV.
And I didn't change it back to Cartoon Network for another like week and a half
Damn.
because I didn't want to come across that episode again.
I guess I did watch Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I watched that when I was a kid.
Like I watched some of it, like most of it was good until I watched that episode, and I
you
was
remember
like,
that
"Oh
evil
my
cat?
god!"
Do you remember that evil cat?
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Katz.
Mr.
I
Katz.
loved that evil cat.
He was rad as fuck.
He was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want Steven to be Mr. Cat. Steven,
He looks like Mr. Katz.
become evil.
turn
He's not paying
red.
attention. Some people would argue that all cats are evil, but Steven's too dumb to be evil.
Yes.
I think to be, evil is banal, but I do think you have to have some modicum of intelligence.
Yeah.
And Steven is too dumb.
Would you say Jurassic Park is a horror movie?
No.
Fair enough.
I would say it's an action adventure with some suspense elements.
Okay.
Yeah.
works.
That being said, when I was a kid, it did scare me, but everything scared me.
Oh yeah. Also, when I was a kid, that as soon as like the goat leg falls on top of the car,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "Nope, out of here." Turned the movie off. Didn't watch it.
I remember renting the first one,
Yeah.
like going to Blockbuster.
That's exactly what I did too. I rented the first one because, Like, they actually watched it in my science class. I was in 6th grade.
Let's prove evolution is real. You can clone dinosaurs.
But so, like, in my 6th grade science class, my teacher, like, gave everyone a waiver to take home so we could watch this PG-13 movie. And,
Oh my God.
but then I was sick for the 3 days that we actually watched it. And we were supposed to, like, fill out, like, answer questions about the movie or whatever. And so I had to, like, rent it myself and watch it. And as soon as it got to that scene with the goat, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to watch it.
What's the best movie you watched in school for school?
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched
that in history class?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
I have to think for a second. We watched Finding Nemo for Spanish class.
Spanish.
Why?
I guess you watched it in
We
Spanish.
watched it in Spanish.
Oh, no, I take that back. Fucking Pan's Labyrinth. We watched in my Spanish class.
Oh, you lucky son.
Yeah, I'd much
Yeah.
rather watch Pan's Labyrinth in Spanish than Finding Nemo.
But for history class, we watched The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
See, you
Nice.
guys got like, oh, I love The Man Who Shot Liberty
It's a
Valance.
fucking good movie.
Probably like my favorite Western.
4 things I love in this world.
Ha!
The 4th being westerns.
Horror movies, mafia movies, Westerns, your dogs.
Yes. 7 things.
7 things. Okay, so this is probably, I had a banger English class 9th grade, and we watched all of Star Wars.
Oh,
the
nice.
OG Star
Holy
Wars.
shit.
We watched all of the OG Star Wars.
Did that take a semester?
It
No.
took a year.
Oh, yeah, it took you. You've said that
I've talked
before.
about this before.
Yeah, we've talked
Oh my
about this
God.
on the podcast before.
Oh God. But
Right, and you had
watched
the
it-
exact same reaction.
did.
You're like,
You had
did
the
it take a
exact same
semester?
reaction.
And Ari was like, it took a year. Deja vu cast.
I don't remember talking
Okay,
about
since
this.
I've already talked about Star Wars, then
Don't
I'll
worry,
say,
we have it recorded.
Bag of nickels. Bag of goddamn nickels.
Okay, since we already talked about Star Wars, then I will say probably my favorite outside of Star Wars is we watched Henry V, the Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, wow.
And that's like the very first play I saw, a Shakespeare play I saw where I like got it was King Lear, and I watched it in 8th grade. My dad was in it as the non-bastard. He's Edmund, I think. It's Edmund and Edgar, and one of them's bastard, one of them's not. And then the very first like Shakespeare movie I saw outside of that was Henry V, and I was like, holy shit. This movie is amazing. Kenneth Branagh gets up and does the St. Crispin's Day speech. Then some fucking people die. It was badass. Loved it. I'm going to say this. You guys got to watch cool Spanish movies.
Yeah.
I took French in high school because I didn't want to learn a language that I would use in my everyday life. except when people are like, oh, I know Spanish. And I could be like, well, actually, did you know that this in French means? Like, that's it. And so we watched Podon,
What?
which translates to donkey skin.
Oh.
And it was a
Oh.
1970s movie about this young princess whose mother dies. Before her mom croaks it, she makes her father, who's the king, promise that he won't get remarried to anybody unless
I think
she's
you've talked
more
about
beautiful
this.
than her.
I think
Yeah.
you talked about this on the show, too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I've probably talked about it in, like, fucked up French fairy tales or something.
Yeah, probably.
Or, like, examples of books I like, because there's a book based off
Yeah.
of Podon that I really
You've
enjoy.
talked about it.
Yeah, but we watched this 1970s version, which had, like, people, like, totally dressed in one color, and it had a helicopter in it. It's a crazy movie. It's on YouTube. There's singing. It's a musical. And there's a fairy godmother. Yeah, it's an amazing movie. I'll show you guys some clips because it's crazy.
This sounds bonkers as hell.
I remember there's a song and it goes l'amour, je t'aime l'amour, which means love, I love love. They were not bringing out Alan Menken to write these songs, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Jesus.
But it's fucking fantastic. I think there are some like really gnarly posters that I have on my phone that are like film posters, but they're crazy. They're like those 1970s like I was hopped up on acid when I made these.
Well, it was the 70s.
It was the 70s. Like, yeah, it's sort of fucking...
They were pulling no punches to make these posters.
Yeah. That's probably, like, my real answer for favorite movies that I watched in class, Star Wars and Henry V. Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. And then my, like, this movie is so nuts and I've seen it more than once because it's just so crazy to me answer is Podar.
My high school in the Latin class, they would watch the Caligula movie.
Oh, shit.
Or I, Claudius. I think they watched both of those, actually.
They watched Caligula
Yeah,
with Malcolm McDowell?
I think so.
He went
That
to
movie goes hard.
Yeah.
He went to Randolph.
Yeah, I went to Randolph.
You... Shh.
We could do whatever the fuck we wanted.
They were Randolph.
Yeah.
We were Randolph.
Still are Randolph.
Oh, God, we were Randolph.
We were Randolph.
All right. Well, on that note, I believe Travis has something he wants to say.
I do.
Yes. Night Shifter.
Night Shifter.
This episode is called Night Shifter, Travis.
Uh-huh.
What do you think it's about?
Porn.
My job.
Sam and Dean are gonna go to an investigation in a mall. And they're gonna get locked in the mall. And there's gonna be a mannequin that comes to life.
Oh my God.
And Dean is gonna fall in love with the mannequin, and they're gonna have a dance scene in the mall.
Okay.
And
This is Mannequin.
yes.
The nth. Problem. I have a question.
And then they save the mannequin from being put in a wood chipper.
Is this just...
It's just the movie Mannequin.
It's just the movie Mannequin, starring Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
Question.
Uh-huh.
Is this what you talked about 2 weeks ago at the end of that last episode?
I don't think so.
I think it is. It's crazy that you remember that.
I don't remember.
To repeat itself. All right. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen, Travis. Actually, I do. It's not. But let's watch it and find out anyways. Woo!
Nah.
Okay.
All right. We watched an episode.
We haven't done that in so long. It
I know.
feels like an
It
accomplishment.
feels like it's been a long time because it has.
It's been so long
For
since
us,
we watched. Yeah.
For the listeners, no time has
No-
passed.
no time.
Like this episode came out right after the last one. They don't know. I mean, they know because we told them.
Yes.
But they don't understand the plight. We had to like cancel guests.
Yeah.
And rearrange everything.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Dude,
gotta-
it's been so long since we watched an episode of Supernatural that there was actually another Netflix show that we watched before. Travis and I do
Wait,
not
what?
use Netflix a lot. We do not use Netflix.
No, not
like
really.
we use it for Supernatural. So every week when we open Netflix, it's like,
Oh, it's like, what is
Supernatural's
this?
right fucking there.
Yeah.
Like, but this week I actually watched Arrow on Travis's Netflix
Oh,
account.
that's right. Yeah.
So we couldn't just go straight to Supernatural. We had to go one over. Okay, this
Yeah.
is a dumb story. Anyways, the point is that shut up. All right.
We were off of Supernatural for a while. I had time to get back on drugs, then leave them, go to rehab, get back
Yeah.
on drugs.
Yes.
And here we are.
And then get back on Supernatural.
It's been a very exciting 3 days for Ben.
Ben has been on a trip
Who are you guys again?
to a great facility out in California.
yeah.
We have missed him. He came back with a hookah
And a lovely tan.
and some board shorts.
Yeah.
You don't know how true that is.
We said y'all, and he killed us. So he murdered us because that's what people in California do to Alabamians. And
Yeah. You say y'all, you die.
yeah.
Which is weird to say that in this accent.
Yes, it's a say. Ben sounds most appropriate saying y'all, according to stereotypes.
So what'd y'all
Yep.
do while I was on drugs?
Not much.
Yeah.
Arrow and
We
AJ?
also did drugs.
We mostly just like didn't clean our kitchen for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
'Cause
pretty
we
much,
were
like-
so sick.
That's basically like one of the reasons we clean it, like try to clean our kitchen is when like people come over.
I'm
Yeah,
not people.
Yeah.
it's true. You're like our unofficial third roommate.
Basically. You just walk in.
Yeah.
We're like,
This
Really
was
do.
the first time that door has been locked in months.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's like morning
We
time.
lock
And
it.
I forgot it was
We
locked.
lock it, okay? Don't break a door.
No one
Yeah.
knows where you live.
I mean, in like the very second episode, I
live.
talked about how
Oh,
easy it
what's
was to break down our door.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah.
That ship has sailed. It's all right. No, not enough people listen to this podcast for like thieves to be picking up on it.
Yeah.
Also, we don't have anything of value.
Yeah. Plus, no, wait, that's
Except
not,
for our beautiful cats.
yeah. That's actually not true. I have a lot of valuable stuff. Please don't steal it.
I just looked over. Oh my God, Travis, keep with the lie. God damn it. I just looked over at Ducky doing something so cute. And
Yeah.
y'all, if any cat thieves were like cat burglars, if you will,
Oh
were
my
like,
God.
I need some new kitties, Ducky would be prime.
Prime cat.
She would be prime.
She would be prime.
If you're like, let me
Oh my God, I cannot handle how cute she is. She's over there on my book bag.
get. Oh. Look at her.
Look at her. Your aces. Okay.
They'd see Ducky and be like, that's the one. And then Steven would walk up and be like, meh. They'd be like, oh God, that cat's dumb.
Let's not get the screaming cat. The cat that screams. Down Where the Dead Delight.
Yep.
I'm surprised Down Where the Dead Delight is not a name of a Supernatural episode.
It might be. They're still making
You're right.
those things.
We haven't
so-
seen all the Supernatural episodes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Speaking of Supernatural, let's get back into it.
Let's get dangerous. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-bow.
So
Travis.
I watched an anime recently.
Travis, shut the fuck up. Unless it's Supernatural, the anime, which we should still watch, I don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
And this is me saying this.
So what was this episode called?
Night Shifter.
Nightshade. Got it.
Night Shifter.
Night courts.
Robots in Disguise, which is a very appropriate
Night
subtitle.
stalker.
So we cold open, just like, obviously, I mean, it's pretty obvious from the title of this episode that it's going to be a shapeshifter episode.
A shapeshifter.
And
The grifter, if you will.
Shipman.
just like the last episode with a shapeshifter in it, it starts in media res.
Yes.
Did you like that fancy word?
I did.
Ah.
As somebody with an English degree, I was like, eh.
So it starts right in the middle of the action, and it's like there's a bank being holed up, and there's just a real bad iMovie filter that makes it supposed to make it look like a news feed. Anyway, I couldn't get over it.
That was just the time.
Still can.
No, news did not look like that at the time.
Yes, it did.
No,
Go on.
it didn't look like
It was
iMovie.
grainy as fuck. We all know it. Continue.
No, it wasn't even anyway. So there's like this bank being holed up, and then you see it's like zooms in on someone who's walking out of the bank. It's like they're releasing hostage, and then guess who's releasing hostage? It's fucking Dean
John
Winchester,
Winchester.
who then John Winchester, who then like kind of looks towards where the camera is with the most confused look on his face.
Yes.
Like someone tricked him into doing this kind of look.
This is a man who did not plan his sausage situation, but when he saw it going off the rails, he will step in and take control. All right?
Yep.
He's like me at a party where nobody is having fun.
That's what you gotta
Okay?
appreciate about
And
saying
so-
Dean Winchester. Sorry.
He really will.
I've coughed my brains out.
If he were at a party, he'd be like, "What? We don't have enough tapas." Oh, I'm on this. Gotta run to the store with Sam.
I'm on
Be
top of
back
these
in an
tapas.
hour. I'm on top of these tapas.
But so then we cut to the beginning, one day ago, where Sam and Dean are investigating some murders that happened. There was like someone from a jewelry store like robbed the jewelry store, and then who worked there, someone who worked at the jewelry store robbed the jewelry store, went home and killed themselves. And then someone at this bank robbed the bank, had worked there for a long time, robbed the bank, went home and killed themselves. So they're like, this is weird. So they first they're in the jewelry store, where apparently it is a prerequisite of being hired is having a gigantic forehead.
Yeah.
They all had 5 heads.
Yeah.
They literally the subtitles like 3 words fit on their foreheads.
Yeah, it's insane.
It was amazing.
They were bigger than Red Foreman's forehead.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's more like Red.
There were a lot of
Foreman.
F words in that sentence.
Yeah, there really
What the
were.
fuck you trying to say about that?
But so they interview the people at the jewelry store, and then they talk. They don't talk to anyone at the bank, but they find out this guy who was like low key involved with.
He was a security guard at the bank that got robbed, and he
Yes.
let his friend,
He let his friend in,
who was
and-
actually the shapeshifter.
right, and so they meet him, good old Ronald, Ronald has cracked the code. He is like, I know what is going on. There is someone who has taken the skin of these people and robbed these banks and killed them. It's the fucking Cyberman from Doctor Who. It's fucking men droids.
I was gonna make a DBZ reference, be like, why would he dress up as little green aliens?
Yeah.
And we're back to anime.
But yeah, he's like, oh yeah, there's like these fucking Terminator style androids that can shape into any human they want, and they're stealing these banks and killing these people, blah blah blah. And Sam and Dean are like, well, you're almost right. You're like really so close. You're so close. Which I love. I'll get into that in a minute. And then Sam and Dean figure out what bank is going to be next because they know that shapeshifters like to live in sewers, and there's this main sewer line that has been connecting the jewelry store and the first bank and now this other bank. So they go to the bank disguised as like security people because they're going to monitor the feed. They're like, oh, we're doing maintenance on the cameras or whatever. So they get in there and they find out who the shapeshifter is by their eyes because, like every supernatural monster, they've got fucking crazy eyes.
The eyes are the window to the crazy soul of the monster.
So they figure it out, but as soon as they figure out, Ronald shows up to the bank with an AK-47 what is it?
It's like an M4.
An M4? It may have well been an AR-15.
I'm just going to say this. It's a serious fucking gun.
It's an assault rifle. It's one of those guns that needs to be banned.
Yeah. It's one of the guns that Bernie Sanders gets up in arms about.
Up in arms.
I'm not a gun expert. I'll be honest with you. It was a semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dean was like, "You got a fucking cannon. We've got some knives."
Yeah.
So.
And
chill.
So Ronald chains the door to the bank shut so no one can leave, and then basically takes everyone hostage. Walks into the open of the bank, like the open lobby of the bank, and goes, "This isn't a robbery," and starts shooting in the air.
Things you don't say in a bank.
Yeah, get down. This isn't a robbery. Like, what the fuck?
Fucking white people.
But so he takes everyone hostage, puts them all in the vault, and then I guess like Sam and Dean, they basically like Sam and Dean run into Ronald, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
What's your crap ass doing in here?
Yeah, and so he leads everyone into the vault, and Sam and Dean convinces Ronald that Dean knows what's going on too, and then that's when Dean is like, "Okay, Ronald, you were like so close to being right.
I'm just gonna give you the answer."
Yeah, I'm just giving you the answer here. It's not androids; it's a shapeshifter. And Ronald is like delighted by this, because he's like, first of all, it means that he's not crazy, but I feel like he's also still low key disappointed that it's not androids.
Yeah,
like I would be. I'd be like, fuck, it's not a robot. Shit.
That's because you want to fuck that android.
I mean, that's a different discussion, but
for a different podcast. Coming this fall.
Oh God!
Wouldn't you want to fuck something that could change into whatever the hell you wanted it to?
No.
I mean,
because I believe in fucking people for their personalities.
I
want to fuck you personally.
Okay.
I pointed right at Ben when I said.
Yeah. But so,
I guess I'm the only one that wants to fuck Mystique.
So they. Ooh.
I mean, I want to fuck Mystique, but for her personality. I love crazy, murdery seductresses who want to kill all humans.
They are great.
I can respect that. So
honestly,
back to the story.
I just love a woman who can break my neck.
Then there's like the whole thing of like, they got to figure out who the shapeshifter is before the cops bust into the fucking bank. Because the place is surrounded now, and then like there comes up the scene where we started, where Dean is pushing a guy out the door because he's like a guard having a heart attack or something.
Yeah, and
that's when they also figure out who the shapeshifter is, because Dean comes across someone's body, and then goes back down to the vault, and he's like, "It's you." And so he like
like those non-specific terms you're using.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shapeshifter changes into three different people over the course of this episode.
Yeah.
First is the bank manager, then this black guy who was like a customer at the bank.
Yeah.
And like Dean finds his body stuffed into the ceiling, which means he must have turned into a fucking NBA player to be able to reach up, hide a body in there.
Pretty tall.
Yeah, and then Ronald dies.
Yeah, so Ronald,
In a
unfortunately,
super shitty
and Dean is like trying to get Ronald to like be a good hostage manager.
Yeah.
Like Dean and Sam basically take over the hostage situation.
Yeah.
Because Ronald is doing such a bad job.
They're like this fucking amateur.
Yeah.
Some people are not born for management.
Yeah, and so
Look, there's a reason why Ronald was a security guard and not a manager at a Wendy's.
yeah.
Okay? He is not good at corralling people.
But so
It made Ben so laugh so much he's fucking dying.
but yeah, unfortunately Ronald like he steps out in front of a window and he gets sniped through the heart,
Like a
which
bitch.
is very sad. But there's not much time to deal with that because there is a shapeshifter afoot. And so Sam and Dean basically like they find out that it changed again into someone else, and they find this girl's body, and it's the girl who is like a bank teller at the bank.
Yeah, the pretty token lady.
Yeah, she's like the pretty token
Yeah,
lady.
there needs
who-
to be one blonde per episode, sometimes two, but that is our maximum of blondes,
But
guys.
one of them will die.
One of them will die.
and they find her.
They had a
as-
twofer with this one.
Yeah, they find her in supernatural tradition in a white slip.
Yes. She is a blonde woman wearing a white slip who is dead.
And
Nothing is more supernatural than that.
and then they get the lady who they think is the shapeshifter. They take her out. She sees her own dead body and goes, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?"
And then faints.
And then faints. And Dean's like, "Oh, that's a pretty good reaction to make me think that it's actually you." And then it like almost stabs this lady. And
Yeah.
Sam is like, "Dean, think about this."
Fuck is the plan?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. There is no description of this scene that is going to be better than watching the actual scene.
Yeah.
Because it was hilarious.
This episode in general was very like funny and goofy.
This episode was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is another good, just supernatural episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as Dean figures out that like almost stabs the real shapeshifter, the FBI walks in. Also, the FBI shows up, and this dude gets on the phone with Dean. He calls like the bank phone, which is
Agent
how
Hendrickson.
Agent Hendrickson is this
Mr.
FBI badass that has been tracking down Sam and Dean for months and is like, "We're gonna fuck you guys up." And Dean is like, "Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dope.
Oh shit."
I wish you wouldn't.
Several
So-
times throughout this episode, Dean is like, "We are so screwed.
Yeah.
We are so fucked."
You're so fucked.
And one of those times happens after he talks to Agent Hendrickson, because Agent Hendrickson has his fucking number.
Yeah.
To a T.
Yeah.
But so Dean has a fight with the shapeshifter and wins, and Sam takes out the two wimpiest SWAT team members of all time. Because I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
I know it's Jared Padalecki and he's huge, but also two guys on one
Yeah.
who are
With
also
guns.
with
two,
guns.
Two of them have guns.
Two of them have guns.
And it is a alive or dead situation. Like
Yeah.
Agent Hendrickson was like, "We'll kill you." They could have shot Sam. All
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And so
I mean, I guess
so
maybe they
Sam
know
knocks
him.
them out and takes their uniforms, and Sam and Dean, after dealing with the shapeshifter, are able to escape in SWAT outfits to a Styx song. And
Renegade.
yeah. And that was the episode.
This episode was fucking great.
It was amazing. See, this is that thing. If this had been the episode that I had first seen of Supernatural, I probably would have been like, "Oh, that's fucking cool."
Yeah. This episode, okay, especially
We
coming
should
after,
have had Nerado on for this episode.
we should have had Rod on for this one. The last episode we did was not that great.
No.
I remember us talking about it and us just being like, it's kind of boring.
I don't even remember what the episode was.
Playthings. which is the episode about like the girl's imaginary friend.
Oh, the thing with the dolls.
Yeah, the thing with the dolls.
Okay.
And it just kind of like that episode was very much like the Dead in the Water of this season.
Right.
And that it's kind of boring. Also involves like self-sacrifice. Also, there's water involved.
And now we're at a point where like the ghost episodes are kind of boring.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of ghosts.
They will be for a bit.
Yeah.
They do get better.
There are good. Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. There are good ghost episodes coming up, but like at this point, like actually, there's a ghost episode coming up this season that I remember really enjoying,
Like,
and
so
maybe
far-
I'm misremembering.
So
but
far, the ghost episodes have kind of been one note.
yeah. Well, the next ghost episode we have is a 2-note ghost episode, but that's because they did something different. They changed it up a little bit.
Okay.
You might say
It's
there's a
not
sharp
just-
and a flat.
Yes. They're at least doing chopsticks. Like, no, but that's because they change it up. They're just not doing the, hey, we got this ghost that we gotta fucking kill. So, like, that episode I remember really fondly, and hopefully it's just as good as I remember.
Yeah.
So this, even though we've seen this monster before, this was like, they did something different.
Yeah.
It's a heist. You know, you've got a bank heist going on, kind of.
Kind of.
Bank
Yeah.
heist.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's kind of cool that it has that like, hey, we got to find this monster, and it could be anybody, and you know we're all trapped in this one place, and there are a ton of people with us, and this crazy guy's going around with a gun.
Yep.
That was nice. Okay, but real talk though,
Yeah.
I'm gonna like. Here's my plan if I'm a shapeshifter. Mm-hmm. I become the most beautiful person in the world.
Yes.
Beautiful people can always find incredibly easy jobs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Acting, modeling. I'm not saying those jobs are easy. I'm saying they're a lot easier than being like a ditch builder or something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? All I'm saying is maybe acting is a titch easier than like working 12-hour shifts at McDonald's.
It's true.
All right?
Yeah.
Might be a titch more money in that.
A titch more money and a titch more fun, probably.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right? So, become the most beautiful person in the world and a good actor. Make millions of dollars doing that. All right? Or I become a white man, become president. Who knows? The point is
There's more money in being an actor.
there's more money. That is true. Well, you gotta make money to be able to get to a place where you can run for president.
Yeah, that's
the point
true.
is make a shit ton of money, have a job that I would enjoy doing.
I don't know. Apparently, you can just get a really good job, or be born into a lot of money, have a ton of businesses, then become president, and then funnel a lot of money into those businesses by staying at them way too much.
You're right. You can break the law. The point is that if I want to make money, I'm not going to live in the fucking sewer, all right?
Yeah.
I am a shapeshifter. I can be anybody in the world. Why am I wasting my time with these 2-bit jobs? Is because I have a lust for murder?
Well, maybe this is the headcanon for this episode, that this shifter was gearing up to have a ton of money to be able to fund a lifestyle such as that.
But it gets rid of the jewels. It gets
See,
rid of
I don't-
all the money and jewels. I think it just likes to kill. But here's the thing.
No, I don't-
When you're rich, nobody cares how many people you murder.
I don't
Rich
think-
people can get away with anything.
No,
for a
no,
while.
no. Here's the thing. I don't think it got rid of the jewels. People think that the actual victims of the shapeshifter, the people the shapeshifter framed, they think that those people got rid of the money and got rid of the jewels because they couldn't find it in their apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're like, how weird is it that they stole all this, dumped it somewhere, and then killed themselves?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you picking up what I'm putting down now?
Okay. You're right. You're
See,
right.
If it's staying in the sewers, then they're not checking the sewers. That's probably where all the money and diamonds are.
That's
Yeah.
true. I will say this though. I feel like I would still earn my money legitimately through some bullshit job,
See that?
like being a comedian.
But there's no.
Just kidding. There's no money in that.
Yeah.
There's no story in that.
Yeah, I know there's not a story. I'm just saying, like, why are so many shapeshifters turning to a life of crime?
Plus, if you steal money, you don't have to pay taxes.
Exactly. Fuck the police.
Yeah, but then you got to set up like a money laundering business.
Yeah,
That's
I guess.
not
I'm
that
just
hard.
well,
Get a shitty. Well, I don't mean shitty as in
Ben.
bad. I mean shitty as in like.
if it were easy, everybody would do it. All right.
Maybe it is. Maybe we're not. Maybe
I
we're
feel
overthinking.
I feel like I was just possessed by the ghost of Patricia Highsmith. If crimes were easy to commit, everybody would do it.
Maybe they
If
are.
there were no laws holding society together. Okay. Look, all I'm saying is that if you so want to murder people that like you have to do it, don't bother. Like, just
Murdering
become
dead people.
rich through your shape-shifting abilities.
Kill it in the business game.
And then kill anybody you want, and nobody will kill because you're rich.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is rich people get away with it. Like, Donald Trump has definitely killed somebody.
Probably.
Right?
He's probably paid money to go, like, most dangerous game on somebody.
Right?
Wasn't there an island that they had to, like, shut down for that? Or am I just feverish?
I think you're just
I
feverish.
don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
All I'm saying is that, like, all these shapeshifters are, like, doing 2-bit crimes and getting caught by hunters. Like, just become a president.
If they do 2-bit crimes that get caught by hunters, they don't have to deal with, I don't know, federal offenses.
That's true. Oh, what about this? If you copy somebody's DNA, like, if I were a shapeshifter and a lust for murder situation, maybe I don't want to work my way up through the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I
Fetish is
just
killing
kill
people.
a CEO?
You know, that's the crux of a season coming up, right?
What? Is that a thing?
Yeah. You've seen that season. That was part of the reason why you stopped watching Supernatural.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, sure, it's not a shapeshifter, but still.
Yeah, but that guy had, like, other issues.
I cannot wait for that season for this fucking podcast.
Ugh, I know. First of all,
Son
we're going
of
to
a
get to my
bitch.
least favorite episode in that season.
My dick is so hard.
Mine, too. That being said, it never softens, but that's beside the point.
Wow.
Anyways.
You should see a doctor.
It also stays in your bedroom.
That's because it's plastic.
You should see a doctor. Holy shit.
It's fine.
That's rigor mortis.
That's actually my porn name.
Rigor mortis.
I exclusively do necromancy themed porn.
Regina Mortis.
Regina Mortis. I keep them hard through the afterlife.
Oh my
Is that
God.
a pun and a Mean Girls reference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regina Georges? Or Jordis?
I'm so hard through rigor mortis. Me, a necromancer and an opportunist. Wait, what did you say? A necromancer and a nymphomaniac. Wait a minute, what's going on?
Oh my
There was an
God.
episode of Law and Order Assbutt where this lady was staging sexual assaults by sticking an electrode up cadavers' beeholes so they would get boners. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a necromancer and a nymphomaniac, all right? I don't want to have sex with dead people. I want to have sex with recently dead people.
So you General Palpatine up some dude's beehole for a boner while he's dead?
No, I
That's
bring him
rape.
back to
That
life.
is
I bring him back
non-consensual.
to life first. I bring my corpse
Don't you use
back
your
to
evil
life,
powers on me.
and then it's so grateful that I've brought it back from hell that it wants to. It they want to have sex with me, and what am I gonna say? No.
To a Lazarus?
This conversation's got weird.
Yeah. Let's get back to the show.
Let's get back. Okay, thank
Back
you.
to anime.
Thank you for listening to my rant on why the shapeshifters in the show make no sense. Because I feel, again, just kill Roger Ailes, okay? Partly because I want him to die. And also partly because just take over the Fox News. Nobody's checking to see if that guy's a shapeshifter. And he constantly looks like his skin is melting off of his body. Okay? It's fine. It's a flawless plan. Dissolve his body in some acid. No body, no crime. And you got him right there. And you copy his DNA so you, know all his shit. And that's my...
Yep,
thank
there
you for
it
coming
is.
to my TED Talk.
We got it.
Hey, if you're a shapeshifter and you listen to this podcast, take my advice. Don't kill me. I have no assets, all right? My savings account has negative $2 in it.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Somebody needs an accountant.
Do you realize that this is the third episode? Every episode that's going to deal with the law coming in on Dean involves a cold open.
Yes.
Where it looks like he's in the middle of some crime.
That is true. You were right about that.
You may be wondering how I got in on this situation.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Dean here. You may be wondering how I got into this mess. It's always we catch him somebody that looks like Dean in a murder situation or in control of a hostage situation they did not want.
What was that other one? He was in the middle of being investigated for murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 3 separate times.
Yeah, the first Shapeshifter episode.
Yep.
Then, a few episodes ago that was pretty good with the lady cop.
Yeah, the lady cop.
Yeah. What was that episode about?
That episode is about, it's not a shapeshifter episode, but it
Was
is
that vampires?
it wasn't vampires, it was an omen. So the murderer was a human.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't a ghost. It was like the thing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of a ghost episode, but the ghost wasn't the murderer.
Right.
And it was an omen coming to like warn these people that they were about to be killed.
Right. Yeah.
Because they found on the body
The necklace.
This thing, custom necklace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember now.
A fucking moron.
I remember that.
Just change it up a little bit. It's already custom. You're paying the same price.
She's up there in my favorite. The 1 week woman.
Yeah.
New favorite 1 week woman?
Ronald. Yeah.
Let's talk about Ronald.
Ronald was great.
He was a delight.
Because it was like all of the conspiracy theory guy, like he had been let go from his job because of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And now he's like, but I have to prove that it's real.
Because I keep insisting it's the mandroid. That's what he called it.
The mandroid. First of all, think of a better name, Ronald.
Yeah, just
mandroid.
Or android. What
Go
about
with
just android?
Yeah, android,
he
robot.
Was way too proud of Mandroid.
He was very proud of Mandroid. I have to say this though. Sam and Dean's reaction to him was like, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go kill this shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure. Shapeshifters are fucking normal, but you believe in an android that can shapeshift and suddenly you're crazy?
Yeah.
He has glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Ronald's so convinced.
Right, because Ronald has a copy of the security tape and he sees the guy with glowing eyes and he's like, laser eyes.
Laser eyes.
Sam's such a dick to him too.
Yeah, Sam was a super asshole. Dean was kind of like going along with it.
Yeah. Dean was like, let's throw him okay, this ties into something I've talked about on the podcast before. I'm going to bring it up again until writers start doing it. Keeping people in the dark does not protect them. Did it protect Ronald? No.
He got shot in the back.
Well, that's his own fault.
True.
Yeah, he did stand in the light like a fucking moron.
Well, it's not victim blame, but yeah. Don't go into a hostage situation without a bulletproof vest.
Okay.
Don't go into a hostage situation at all.
Yeah.
Don't run a hostage situation.
Yeah. Don't throw chains on a bank door and expect to not die after shooting a fucking M4 carbine into the goddamn ceiling.
You're right. But so Sam, like, Ronald explains to the mandroid in this very first scene. He has like the wall of conspiracy theories up, where he's like putting up articles and he's like drawing like this connects and here's where the mandroid's gonna attack next.
I feel like he had a solid theory about how to make a murderer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that joke well flatter than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
It's flat as an 11-year-old girl.
Boom.
And the mandroid, and Sam stands up and is like, Ronald, I'm about to break it down for you. What I'm gonna say is the God's honest truth. Which, how do you know someone's lying to you? They preface it with that.
Yeah.
And then like Dean gets so excited. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna tell this cracker ass motherfucker the truth. He's gonna we're gonna learn something today. We're gonna change some lives."
And Sam goes, "It's not it. It's just a guy.
Just a dude.
Just a dude.
Who's your friend? You rubbed the place.
Yeah, your friend's a dick.
Yeah, you're a gullible bastard.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
And then he commits suicide because fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were a bad friend.
You're a bad friend, and you deserve to feel bad."
Yeah.
And Dina's like, "Damn, harsh, man."
Yeah.
We could have told him the truth. He could have handled it.
And
he thought it was mandroids.
And Sam was like, Dean's like, I mean, he did some legwork, and Sam says, better that he's like at home and safe and in the dark than knowledgeable about this stuff.
It's like he said that, and then Ronald put the chains on the fucking bank.
Yeah.
Mid-sentence.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I can see where Sam is coming from with that, but also, like...
There is an episode...
Because, yeah, I don't know. Sam has this thing where he's like, he doesn't want to tell people about supernatural stuff.
He wants to keep them protected and innocent.
Right, yeah.
And I see that, and I get that motivation. My problem is keeping people in the dark does not protect them. Forewarned is forearmed.
There's an episode of Black Mirror I just watched because I finally started watching that show that deals with this. Because this mom, she's a single parent. She lives with her father, the kid's granddad, And so the kid runs off one day while she's like a little kid, like 3 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the mom gets this experimental procedure that puts a chip in the little girl's head. And through the chip, the mom can see what the little girl sees through this little tablet, right?
Oh, no.
And so as she grows up, she can turn on like parental controls to where the girl can't see anything sexual, violent, or anything like that. It censors it, right? And so as the little girl gets into like maybe about middle school age, that's when she starts to realize that she's different and that she can't see these things. And she finally can tells her mom about it. She's like, look, I feel like I can handle it. I'm getting old enough. I want to be able to, process life.
Yeah.
And so the mom turns off all the parental control. She can finally see stuff. And there's this little montage of her friend at school showing her porn, violent movies, violent videos on like break.com and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
And then she gets even older and she kind of does the thing where like, okay, you're going to tell your parents you're at my house and I'm going to tell my mama we're at your house watching movies.
Classic.
And actually we're going to go to the lake with this dude that sells drugs and probably hook up with him. And they do that, and the mom turns on the tablet because she calls around and realizes that her daughter isn't where she thought she would.
No.
And she opens the tablet while the girl is losing her virginity, and the mom just freaks the fuck out.
That's rough.
And then, like, it happens again, and, like, the mom kind of freaks out because the kid, the van guy that she was fucking in the van, is giving her cocaine for the first time, and he's like, I really don't want to goddamn do this.
Wow.
And the mom like turns on all the shit and it goes crazy. So I think it's better to let your kid fuck up by themselves. Wait, this turned into an after school special.
I was about to say,
But
this is very different from what I was talking about, but continue.
But no,
I'm
it's
just kidding.
like, I really think if you, rather than like helicopter and be like, no, you can't see this shit. Like you can't see it. I think it's much healthier to be like, look, drugs are bad. If you're going to try one, try weed.
Right.
It's safe. It's not that bad for you. I wouldn't smoke it until after I'm like 21 so your brain is fully developed. But that's just me. It's my take. Don't do coke. It's expensive and all you're going to feel like doing is doing more cocaine. See,
I was talking about superheroes.
Oh.
That's what I was connecting it to.
Oh, my bad.
It is a common...
We live different
we
lives.
live different lives. It is a common superhero trope where, like, I can't tell my family or my loved ones that I am the X.
Right.
Because then my enemies will come after them. Why? Like, are your loved ones going to go up to Lex Luthor and be like, psst, Lex, it's Clark Kent? Like, Lois Lane's not spilling the beans there.
Maybe. They might.
But probably
What
not.
if they accidentally do it?
No. What? No.
Yeah. What if they just like accidentally let it slip?
The point is, if you're about to get into this vigilante superhero lifestyle, you need to tell the people who you're closest to in their lives so that they know not to let in mass murderers, all right? Or like your arch enemies.
Yeah, that's also true.
Like,
see, I feel like we're saying like the same thing.
We are saying the same thing, yeah.
But in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it's like, hey, I know so-and-so. Oh, really? No way. Yeah, we're arch rivals. What?
Yeah.
He's
Bang.
He's a fuck stick and likes to murder people with babies.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, Aunt May. Don't let the Green Goblin in for Thanksgiving, all right? He is my arch enemy, and he wants to kill me.
That's not green bean casserole. That's plutonium nitrate.
Yeah. Do me this one favor. Yeah. So all I'm saying is I think if Sam and Dean had been like, Ronald, you are close. This isn't a mandroid. This is a shapeshifter. We are literally professionals, and we handle this. Then it could have been wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Walk into the bank, kill the shapeshifter. Dunzo.
Right.
Yeah.
Out of here before anybody knows their name.
Out of here in time for tea.
Yep.
But
that being said, this episode was excellent, so I'm glad that happened.
Like sure, it could have been like neater and like a little bit more like a
Nah, this episode's great.
Yeah, fuck it. I wouldn't change a goddamn thing about this episode.
I wouldn't change a goddamn thing
Except that Ronald doesn't die.
Or Ronald does die, but then they take off his clothes and it's revealed that he's wearing a white nightgown underneath.
Oh my god.
He's actually blonde.
That was something I said when Ronald got shot and died. I was like, he's not even wearing white.
He's not even in a nightgown.
He can't die. He's not wearing white.
That doesn't make any sense. Only thing that would have made this episode better. In my notes I wrote down, that lady who like the lady who eventually is the shapeshifter.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this whole fiasco, she wants the D.
Real bad.
She wants that D&D.
Yep. And I wrote down, lady, it's not the time.
Yeah.
And then I wrote down, $10 says she's the shapeshifter, which I was wrong at the time.
You were wrong at the time, but eventually you became correct.
I was correct, yes.
Yeah, because like the big thing is like sure they got out and started running around and shit,
Yeah.
but also it's a thing we should probably talk about. Do you think a skin like the skin or the shapeshifter, can just touch somebody and like touch several people and then just change on a whim into any of those people, or is it just the last person they touch?
I think they can change in a whim. Like it's a situation where I can touch you and Travis.
Yeah.
I'm a shapeshifter, and then like I can change into Travis, but then I can also change into Ben later.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like the rules of shapeshifters hasn't been super well defined.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because we also don't go into like, I know last time we did a shapeshifter episode, we talked about how our theory is that they copy the memories and the DNA and everything. Right. But they don't really talk about that.
I think logistically they would have to.
Yeah.
But also they do talk about that a little bit because like Dean or like Shifter Dean was talking to Sam and being like, I see all your memories and I see how he actually feels about you. And
Right.
Like
Yeah.
So.
But also, Ronald said when he was talking about his buddy that was a mandroid.
Yeah.
When the shapeshifter was his buddy, he was like, it was like him, but it wasn't him. It was like a perfect doll version of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a fucking Fallout 4 synth situation.
Yeah.
Where it's like a perfect copy, so perfect
that it's not. It can't be.
It can't be.
Yeah.
That.
That would be like it would kind of be like if you can copy somebody's entire memory, then it's possible that you can remember things they don't even remember anymore.
Nah, that's true.
And so like if you came in, Travis, and were like, or maybe better example, if I came into a situation, I had been shapeshifted, right? And I was like, hey, remember this thing? You immediately would be like, no, Ari, you don't remember that thing. You have the worst memory of anyone I've ever met outside of an Alzheimer's patient.
Yeah, that is true.
And like you would know it would be too perfect of a copy. Mm-hmm. Probably insist you call me Aryan. Just being a nightmare. Shapeshifters.
Fucking eerie, man.
I wish this episode had been called Shapeshifters, Robots in Disguise.
That would have been good.
That's the name of this episode.
Yep.
We should talk about the fact. Can we talk about the Solomon's baby scene?
Yes. So there were the two ladies,
Yeah.
the exact copies of each other.
Sherry
and it's like,
and Sherry.
which one should we kill?
Yes. Dude, this scene, okay. It was like a Brechtian dream, right? Like, okay, so Bank Lady, who I'm going to call Bank Lady, falls unconscious at the sight of seeing her in a white slip dead.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, where did the shapeshifter get a white slip?
Who knows?
See, like I said,
She just had that on her?
I feel like the shifter just keeps a suitcase in the sewers for emergencies, and it's full of nothing but white slips and plaid shirts and jeans. That's it.
Well, see, the other dude that the
bank manager?
No, not the bank manager.
The black guy.
The black guy. He was naked when Dean found him.
See, yeah, he just stole the guy's
So he
clothes.
stole the clothes.
Yeah,
So where did the shapeshifter get the white slip?
Supernatural Rhinos, answer me.
Well, you can't just have a naked white lady on syndicated television.
Yeah, naked black guy, it's fine.
Yeah.
This is a double standard.
I guess you're right.
As a bisexual woman, I'm very
Maybe
angry
the
about
white
it.
slip is
That's a
supposed to be
straight man.
symbolic that she is naked.
Yeah, maybe the white slip is the Supernatural writers, like in an earlier draft, plan to kill its character.
Yeah.
Wait, they did kill her.
Yeah.
It's yet another white blonde woman in a white slip that dies.
Well, the shapeshifter dies as her. She doesn't die.
Do you think that's true?
She gets taken out of the bank by the SWAT member, who
But the
who then
image is
is
still
like,
there.
I could have sworn I just saw her.
Oh, God. Yeah, worst detective work in
Yeah,
the world.
oh my God.
Hey, SWAT team guy. Oh, she must have had a twin. Really? Why don't you do a modicum of research into
Well,
this?
he's a SWAT team guy, not a detective. So
I don't know. You still couldn't, like, have been like, hey, lady, sorry about your twin that died. Oh, I don't have a twin. This is a Solomon's baby situation.
It was a Solomon baby situation, says the SWAT team member. Like, he knows what that is.
Well, it's there were two of me, and they were trying to figure out the real one, so they both cut me in half. Or they cut me both in half.
they cut both of us in half.
Yeah.
They put my
I was
leg.
like-
They put my legs on her body.
And my body on her leg.
And I was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to be cut in half. And they were like, you must be the real one. 'Cause
Because you don't want to be cut in half. I'll take the top part.
I'm all right with being cut in half, said the shapeshifter. Real Solomon's baby situation. The scene we were talking about earlier, though, when the blonde lady, the bank lady, first sees herself dead on the ground and then faints, is, again, just go rewatch this episode, because any description we do is not going to be good enough. But there's this fantastic moment where Dean's about to kill the real bank lady, and Sam's like, Dean, wait. Take a minute. This doesn't make any fucking sense. This is not the way to ward off somebody if you're trying to fight them off.
Yeah.
And then Dean's like, oh yeah, you're fucking right.
We're not bears. Why would the shifter play dead?
Wait a minute, this doesn't even make any fucking sense.
One of my favorite webcomics is the dude running away from the bear. He says, oh yeah, I should just play dead.
Yeah.
That's how you get rid of the bears. And so he plays dead. And like the two bears look at each other and then like set up a crime scene and do a dog outline. And there's one bear trying to control the crowd. Oh, I love it. We'll put that in the non-existent show notes.
Yeah,
Yep.
in those show notes we're never going to do.
Nope.
Stop asking. No, just kidding.
Just Google webcomic featuring bears.
Also, watch this episode and watch for this scene specifically because it's pretty fucking fantastic.
The whole fucking
The whole episode.
The whole
is
episode is
fantastic.
great.
It's
10
really
out
good.
of 10 would watch again. Let's stop recording and watch it again.
Yeah, I would watch this episode right now. Just like from beginning, even though the cold open, at this point, guys, we're not gonna be like, oh, Dean really is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't come until much later. So
Very true.
so
Very true.
like stop trying to fake us out with these like, oh, Dean's committing a crime. Like the only crimes he commits is grave digging and
See, I feel like they weren't trying
murdering.
to fake us out. I think they were like, let's just have a fun episode and see what the fuck happens.
yeah, that's true. What could possibly be going on here? Dean has a problem with John Foreheads. So he's like, I'm going to kill everyone in Wisconsin.
Yeah, John Red Five Man. Sorry. John Red Forehead Man.
Can we talk about Agent Hendrickson?
Yes.
Okay.
What a supreme badass.
What a supreme with cheese badass.
Royale with cheese.
Royale.
Ezekiel
Du
17:25.
fromage.
Yeah.
So the minute this guy goes on the scene, it's like such classic like
Yeah, when
FBI versus cop talk.
when he startled
Yeah.
David Duchovny, that was a pretty amazing
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
David
this is
Duchovny
not
guest starred in
David
this episode.
Duchovny.
Yeah, Agent Mulder is the cop who's like, this isn't going down like a normal bank heist. And he, like, the minute Hendrickson's there, I was like, oh, we're gonna get a great character. And then
Yeah.
this white guy comes on the screen, and I was like, oh, I guess we don't get it. And then he appears behind the white guy, and I was like, yeah, Agent
You were
Hendrickson is black.
Super hype about it.
Oh, I fucking love this guy so much, and this actor is fantastic.
He was really good.
This guy is a lot better than Gordon, but he kind of does what Gordon does. Only he's against Dean, not Sam.
Yeah, but it's not the Gordon. It's Hendrickson is not an unrepentant like I'm going to murder everything that's different.
He is
Yeah.
unrepentant in the sense that he
thinks Dean.
he
He thinks Dean is a mass murderer.
That's my point.
Yeah.
He sees all the wackadoo shit, just writes it off. He's like, no, Dean's a crazy man killing people in wackadoo ways.
Yeah, there's this super vague conversation where like Agent Mulder is like, this isn't like a normal heist, and Hendrickson goes, oh, there's nothing about this normal.
There's a monster
Because there's a
in it.
monster in there. And like first viewing, somebody would be like, oh, is this?
Yeah, it's like, oh, the U.S. government knows about supernatural stuff.
And absolutely not.
Yeah, no, he's
calling
talking
Dean a
about
monster.
Yeah.
Agent Henderson and Dean talk on the phone. Just like the spark of their relationship that'll last a lifetime.
Say he does the same thing, but against Dean rather than Sam. It's just that he unrepentantly wants to catch Dean for no, and he's not going to listen to anything
He does though. Eventually.
He does eventually.
Spoiler alert.
Wow, thanks.
Dude, it's got
It's broadcast a mile away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Agent Hendrickson has a couple of really badass moments in this show.
I will say this: you're gonna, sure we spoiled it for you that it's gonna happen.
Right.
It happens in a really fucking badass and cool way. That
Yeah.
you're gonna
Nice.
enjoy.
Yeah. Agent Hendrickson ain't fucking around.
Sweet.
It's. Do we want to say when it is?
End of season 3,
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
which is shorter than season 2, so you'll get to even faster.
Nice.
Honestly, at the point we are in season 2, by this time in season 3, we will almost be done with the season.
Like, we're like here.
Wow.
We're here for season 2, but for season 3, we would be like right fucking here.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
we would be like two episodes away.
What episode was this? Season or episode 14?
Yes,
There's what, 16 episodes.
I don't
in
think it
Yes.
was
season
episode 14.
you're probably right.
I think it was like episode 12.
3?
You're correct.
Yeah.
It was episode 12. The point still stands. At this point in the season, we're like, oh, we're halfway through. Next season, we're going to be like, oh, we are almost done.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to go by really quick, especially since season 3, spoiler alert, is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
In how crazy terrible it is.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the writer's strike. We're going to talk about some shit. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Agent Hendrickson, like, the conversation that he has with Dean is so good. We get a little bit of, like, your father was a wackadoo shit, too.
Yeah.
And Dean's like, don't talk about John Winchester that way. Look, only I can talk about John Winchester that way.
I did like the line. Dean was like, I'm not really in the negotiating mood. And Hendrix was like, me neither.
Yeah. Hendrix was like, look, bud, we can take you either dead or alive, and I really don't care either way.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Because, like, at this, to Hendrickson, right? Which, like, okay, maybe he should have picked up the signs. Maybe he should have been like, there's some wackadoo shit going on here. That's not just Dean's wackadoo shit.
Yeah.
Like, he does find 2 melted puddles of skin, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetically. We don't see it, but he does. If he's going through the whole bank.
That's true.
And the bank, and the people who were in the bank with, like, the black guy who the shapeshifter, like, turned into first, saw them attack. I guess from the bank people's point of view, it could just be like, hey, he was trying to save us.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, so from Adric Henderson's point of view, like, Dean is a mass murderer.
Yeah. Dean killed
Dean and Sam are
two people in this bank.
Yeah. 3 people in the bank died.
Yeah.
2 of which Dean hypothetically killed. Mm-hmm. Right? Because Ronald died, but we're not counting him.
Right.
And then you've got then all the people who died in St. Louis that they know about.
Yep.
Then you've got the thing in Baltimore, and then Hendrickson knows about the grave desecrations. I was going to say the gay desecrations. Yeah. The grave desecrations.
Yeah.
This guy, like, from Hendrickson's point of view, you've got to be like, this is Satanic Panic 2.0. Mm-hmm. You know, because, like, why else would he need all those fucking dead bodies to light on fire? So yeah, from Hendrickson's point of view, who has no knowledge of the supernatural, this is like,
It's some fucking crazy shit.
some crazy fucking shit. Yeah, so Agent Henderson, stone cold badass. Mm-hmm. He's like the second prominent black character. Do we count Cassie?
Who's Cassie?
Cassie. Okay, so no.
That answers that question.
No, Cassie's the girl from
From Route 6066.
6066. Yeah. Route 666. She's the girl who had a relationship with Dean.
Route 6066.
She definitely is the main. She's definitely the one weak woman for that.
Yeah.
And has some, like, pretty main character. She's not a main character, but she's some important supporting stuff.
Yeah.
Define prominent character.
I would say Gordon is really the first one, as far as, like, first black prominent characters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say characters that have more influence on the plot than just, like,
Then just one episode.
one episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking true.
So I'm gonna say Gordon's the first one. Adrian Hendrickson's the second. It's a real short list, guys.
Yeah.
Real fucking short list.
The only thing worse than being a woman in...
Yeah, it's being a person of color.
All right. All right.
Honestly, though, more likely to survive if you're a person of color.
Yeah.
Less likely to survive if you're a blonde woman who enjoys nightgowns.
Yeah. White nightgowns.
White nightgowns, man. Don't fucking do it. I'm going to go to a con. I'm going to cosplay in my nearly white nightgown, like dye my hair blonde.
Yeah. Feel like, who are you? I mean, every woman in Supernatural.
Who dies? All right. So, and then I feel it is appropriate to close out like the episode closed out.
Yes.
With the best Styx song ever written.
Really good.
Renegade.
Super good. And it was really well done for this episode, too.
It really was. The long pause in the middle. Mm-hmm. That was awesome.
It starts playing when... Because like the boys have gone.
Yeah.
And Adrian Hendrickson is like, Adrian Hendrickson is like, I want you to tear this fucking bank apart. And the guys who told him he's gone is like, oh, I don't think we'll have to. Because here are these 2 naked SWAT team guys.
Yeah.
And then the song follows them into the car and then it pauses. And it's like, it's a pause that happens in the song.
Yeah, it's like right when...
But they make it last way longer.
Yeah, because, in the beginning of Renegade where it's like... Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, and it's like that slow start. And then this is before it gets into like... You're like...
The jig is up, they finally found me.
A renegade who's time made... And yeah, so they pause there. And Dean just gets in one more. We are so screwed. So good. So yeah, overall... Great episode.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Good job, Supernatural.
This episode had everything an episode of Supernatural should have.
Classic rock.
Classic rock.
Murder.
Murder, she wrote.
A blonde white woman in a pink slip, or no, it's white slip.
Yep.
Or an unconventional woman in white, if you will. Or a white knight in... like, Ronald was wearing white knight garb, if you will.
Ha, 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 ha.
It's a bad joke.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's still chuckled.
Honestly, he's probably an incel. Let's be really honest here.
God.
I'm going to dig this hole.
Didn't even exist.
Ugh.
Ugh. Ronald. I want to think of him as he lived.
Dead on the floor.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, Travis.
Yeah.
This next episode is called The Houses of Holy. Break it down for us.
All right. Sam and Dean are going to go to jolly old England.
Oh, I thought you were going to make it an Animals reference. Or at least a Hyacinth House reference from The Doors.
No.
Okay.
They're going to go to jolly old England. And they're going to be like, man, we want to go do something cool. So they travel back in time to 1971. And they go to a Led Zeppelin concert. And they play Houses of the Holy.
Well,
that's a solid spin on the short descriptions, if you will. Hey.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
Probably going to be a monster.
That would be a really cool episode because I want to say it's definitely a member of Led Zeppelin that bought a castle in England.
Oh, really?
That would have ties to the occult.
It was probably Robert Plant.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
If I
Or Jim. It was either him or Jim.
were a rich person because of my shape-shifting shenanigans, I would buy a castle in England.
Yeah.
But I'm not because I'm not a shapeshifter. You can only become rich in one way. The members of Led Zeppelin were shapeshifters.
Ah, okay.
They shifted into...
Jimmy Page hasn't reached it.
Yeah. They
True.
shifted into musicians who like to steal music from other musicians.
Oh.
Headshot!
Oh, shit!
Bitch is on fire!
Hey! All right, well, Travis,
Yep.
That's probably not going to happen.
that's
next week.
probably no. However,
Damn.
we will be here to talk about it if
Yep.
it does. My name is Ari Kobler,
I'm Travis Short.
I'm Ben Teichmiller.
and if you want to reach us, you can reach us at Habcast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, and at our email at heyassbuttpodcast@gmail.com. You guys rock.
Yep.
Well,
Please
let's-
like and review us on iTunes
Subscribe.
and Spotify or
Yeah.
whatever. Subscribe.
Please.
Yes.
And have a good life. Don't die.
Cool.
Ben, don't die. No, Ben. Travis, do something.
It's too late. He's already gone.